This video is about she was his future, but the council called her his doom. If this story captivates you, please like the video, share it with loved ones, and write in the comments how it touched your heart. The moon hung high, casting its silvery glow over the dense forest. A chorus of howls echoed through the night, the sound reverberating like a heartbeat, the pulse that bound the crimson moon packed together. At the center stood Alaric, the pack's alpha, powerful, commanding, the weight of his role pressing heavily on his broad shoulders. But tonight, something felt amiss. As he prowled the territorious edge, Alaric's golden eyes scanned the darkness, searching for the one who had captivated his very soul, Alina, a fiery omega with a spirit as free as the night wind. Their bond was undeniable, an instinctual pull that transcended the boundaries set by their kind. Yet, the council had decreed their fate. Though Alina could never be your mate, Alaric, his beta, Rylan, had warned earlier that day, his voice tense with urgency. The council foresees doom in your union, her bloodline, it is tainted. Alaric had scowled, shaking off Rylan's words like a chill in the air. She is untouched by darkness. The only thing tainting her is the council's fear. They don't understand her. A sudden rustle broke his thoughts. Alaric turned to see Alina stepping from the shadows, moonlight framing her delicate features. Her long hair cascaded down her back, and her eyes sparkled with mischief and warmth. "Alaric," she whispered, her voice a melody that soothed his restless heart. "Why do you look so troubled?" "I am not troubled," he lied, stepping closer, drawn by the magnetic force between them. "Just watching over our territory." She sensed his tension, her brow furrowing. "You are protecting me, aren't you?" He hesitated, the weight of her gaze piercing through him. "Always." "Then let me in," she urged, taking a step forward, her fingers brushing against his. "You don't have to carry this burden alone." The connection sparked, igniting a fire within him. "If only it were that simple," Alaric murmured, his eyes darkening. "The council believes your future is intertwined with destruction." Alina's breath hitched. "They don't know me, they don't know us." "No, they don't." His voice was low and the tension hung thick in the air. "But they fear what they don't understand. They will do anything to keep us apart." The vulnerability in her gaze shattered him. "You think I'd let them dictate my heart?" "Your heart is my heart, Alina," he replied fiercely. "You'd be putting yourself at risk." "Risk to whom?" She shot back, her passion igniting a spark of admiration in him. "To myself or to your precious title?" Alaric stepped back, the space between them growing heavy with unspoken fears. "You don't understand the weight of being an alpha. And you don't understand the power of love," she countered, her voice trembling with raw emotion. "You are pushing me away, Alaric. You are rejecting what we have." "I am trying to protect you," he roared, his voice echoing through the trees. "You are my future, but the council labeled you as my doom. Can't you see? I can't risk losing you." "But I won't let you lose me. I am not afraid," she breathed, her determination unwavering. "I will fight for us, Alaric." The moon cast a silver halo around her, illuminating the fierce resolve on her face. He was torn, feeling the crushing weight of duty clash with the intoxicating pull of his heart. "What if they send a hunter to separate us?" "Then we'll face them together," she declared, stepping closer, her fearless spirit igniting a flame in his chest. "You are not alone in this fight." Alaric's heart raced, caught between his instincts and the growing love that gnawed at his sense of duty. "Alina, this isn't just about us, it is about the future of the pack." "Then let us shape that future together," she implored, her eyes shimmering with unyielding passion. "You keep saying you want to protect me, but I am not a damsel in distress. I am your equal." As her words washed over him, Alaric felt the walls he built begin to crack. "You're unlike any Omega I've ever known," he admitted, his voice dropping to a whisper. "The council will never accept this." "I don't care," she cried, frustration spilling over. "I don't need their approval, Alaric. I need you. Choose me." "Choosing you could destroy everything," he replied, his voice shaking with emotion as he fought against the tide of his heart. "You could be exiled, or worse." "Then let them try," she said fiercely, taking another step closer, the warmth of her body igniting hope within him. "I would rather fight for this love than live a life dictated by fear." Just then, the rustle of leaves broke their moment. Rylan emerged, his expression grave. "We need to go back. The council is gathering." "Damn the council!" Alina spat, her spirit igniting. "They can dictate our lives. Do you want to risk everything?" Rylan shot back, his voice laced with urgency. "Alaric, you know what they are capable of." Alaric's gaze shifted between his beta and Alina. "We'll go," he finally said, his heart heavy with the impending conflict. "But we'll discuss this later." As they turned to leave, Alina's heart raced, a mixture of fear and excitement coursing through her veins. "You can keep running, Alaric," she whispered, urgency flooding her voice. "We need to confront this." "I know," he said softly, taking her hand in his, unwilling to let go despite the storm brewing around them. "But we can do it tonight." The journey back to the pack den felt suffocating, the tension thickening the air. Each step echoed with the unspoken weight of their love, a bond forged in fire yet threatened by shadows. As they entered the den, the pack was gathered, their faces grave, whispers crackling like wildfire. Alaric felt the weight of their collective gaze, uncertainty dancing in the air. "Alpha," one of the elders began, his voice slow and rumbling like distant thunder. "The council seeks to impose their will upon us. They demand your withdrawal from the Union." Alaric's heart sank. "They cannot dictate my life," he growled, his instincts flaring. "They believe it is for the greater good," another elder interjected, the disapproval heavy in his tone. "Your choice could put the entire pack at risk. Or it could unite us," Alina countered, stepping forward, her voice steady. "We are stronger together. We can forge our own destiny." "Silence," roared an elder, his voice a whip crack in the tension. "We do not take lightly to challenges against the council's decree." Alaric's heart raced, feeling the split within their room. The pack was divided. Some stood with him, while others feared the consequences of defiance. He glanced at Alina, her defiance igniting a fire within him. "I will not let fear dictate our lives," Alaric declared, his voice steady and unyielding. "I will fight for our future." As his words hung in the air, the elders glared, their faces contorted with disbelief. "Then prepare for war," the elder warned, his gaze cold and foreboding. "For this fight may cost you all." Alina's heart thundered in her chest, but she stepped closer to Alaric, her resolve unwavering. "Then let them come. We will face whatever darkness lies ahead together." In that moment, beneath the weight of the pack's tension and the council's looming threat, Alaric felt a renewed purpose. Their love was a flame, relentless and fierce. No matter what trials lay ahead, the bond they shared would be their guiding light. And as the moon bathed them in its silvery glow, Alaric realized that true strength lay not in fear or doubt, but in the passionate embrace of destiny, however terrifying it may be. As the elders' words echoed in the dimly lit den, the atmosphere crackled with tension. Alaric stood rooted to the spot, his heart pounding with a mix of fear and determination. The weight of the pack's expectations pressed down on him like a heavy cloak, but Alina's fierce gaze ignited a spark of defiance within him. "Do you really think they can break us?" Alina asked, her voice steady despite the chaos swirling around them. "We are stronger than they realize. We have something they cannot touch." Alaric turned to her, his golden eyes searching hers for reassurance. "But at what cost, Alina? My position as Alpha, our future, our lives. They could shatter it all." "Is that a risk you are willing to take?" she challenged, stepping closer, their bodies nearly touching. The warmth radiating from her was intoxicating, grounding him amidst the storm. "I refuse to let them dictate our love, Alaric. We are bound by something far deeper than their fear." Silence enveloped them, the pack watching, breath held in anticipation. Alaric could feel the weight of his decision bearing down on him. "I will not let you face the consequences alone," he finally said, his voice low but resolute. "If we stand against them, we stand together." A murmur rippled through the pack, some voices filled with hope, others laced with fear. Rylan stepped forward, his brow furrowed. "Alaric, I see the strength you have with Alina, but defying the council is a dangerous game. They will send hunters after you." "Let them," Alina replied fiercely, her spirit igniting the air around them. "We will fight for our love. I will not hide in the shadows or cower beneath their decrees." Alaric's heart soared at her bravery, but doubt crept in. "You don't understand what they are capable of. They want to just threaten us. They will destroy everything we hold dear." Alina stepped closer, her gaze unwavering. "And that is why we need to forge our own path, Alaric. We can let them dictate what we become. Love is not a weakness, it is our greatest strength." "Perhaps we can reach a compromise," Rylan suggested, his voice softer. "We could offer to keep our distance until the council settles. We can bide our time." Alina's eyes sparkled with indignation. "That is not living, Rylan. It is merely existing. I refuse to wait for a destiny that others have crafted for us. We must embrace what we have." "Alaric," Rylan pleaded, his voice a mixture of concern and frustration. "Think about our pack. The elders are wise, and the council's power is not to be taken lightly." "I am done thinking for them." Alaric roared, his voice echoing against the wooden walls. He felt the primal energy within him surge, fueled by the intensity of his feelings for Alina. This is about us. This is about love, and I will not allow fear to dictate my heart. Elders exchanged worried glances, their disapproval palpable. Your passion blinds you, Alpha, one of them warned, his voice grave. Do not mistake love for strength. The council will not hesitate to act. Alaric took a deep breath, struggling to maintain his composure. Then let them act. They can try to extinguish our flame, but they will only feed its fire. With that declaration, he turned to Alina, his heart throbbing with a mix of hope and uncertainty. Are you ready for this, to face the council and everything that comes with it? Alina's gaze softened as she reached for his hand, intertwining her fingers with his. I've never been more ready. Our love is a force of nature, Alaric. It's our destiny. As they stood together, the world around them faded, leaving only the two of them and the bond that tied their fates. They could feel the pack's uncertainty, the weight of the elders' disapproval, but none of it mattered as long as they had each other. The night stretched on, a blanket of stars illuminating their path as they turned to face the challenge ahead. The council-esque gathering was only days away, and with it came a storm of uncertainty. As they stepped out into the cool night air, Alaric felt the pulse of the forest, the heartbeat of the wolves that called it home, echoing his resolve. Let us prepare, he said, his voice steady. We need to gather our supporters. We will show the pack that love is worth fighting for. Days passed in a whirlwind of tension and whispered conversations. They met under the cover of night, Alaric and Alina rallying their allies, forging connections and bonds that transcended the fears of the council. One evening, as they sat by the river that wound through their territory, Alina splashed water playfully at Alaric. He laughed, the sound warm and rich, bringing a lightness to the heaviness in his heart. You are distracting me, he said, mock annoyance coloring his tone. Just trying to keep your spirits high, she replied, her laughter like a song that danced in the air. We have to believe we can change their minds, Alaric. I do believe, he admitted, the weight of her gaze igniting a fire within him. It's the uncertainty of the fight that rattles me. Then let us promise each other something, she said, her voice serious yet soft. No matter what happens, we'll face it together. We won't let fear ruin what we have. Together, he echoed, the word heavy with meaning. Always together. Their hands intertwined, the bond they shared was palpable, an unbreakable thread weaving their destinies. But as the days dwindled, the council, a shadow loomed larger, a dark cloud threatening to shatter their resolve. The night of the gathering arrived, tension crackling in the air as the pack assembled in the clearing beneath the moonlight. Elders stood in a semicircle, their faces stern, as the council loomed like a storm on the horizon. Alpha Alaric, one of the council members, began, her voice icy and commanding. Your defiance of our decree sends ripples of chaos through the ranks. Your union with Alina brings only doom. Alaric stood tall, the weight of countless eyes on him. Our love is not a curse, it is our strength. I will not bow to fear. Foolishness, another council member spat, his voice laced with disdain. You risk everything for a fleeting passion. Love is not fleeting, Alina interjected, stepping forward, her voice unwavering. It is eternal. You cannot extinguish the flame that binds us. The council's elders exchanged troubled glances, whispers of discontent rustling through the crowd. You defy us, young Omega, the first elder warned, his eyes narrowing. There are consequences. Then let them come, Alaric said, his voice steady, a fierce fire igniting in his chest. I will not let fear dictate my heart, we will forge our own path. A charged silence settled over the clearing, the tension palpable. The council's members exchanged glances, their expressions darkening. Very well, the lead elder declared, his tone ominous. If you choose this path, you will face the consequences of your rebellion. Alaric's heart raced as the ground beneath them trembled with uncertainty. The council's power was formidable, but he stood resolute, his heart aligned with Alina's. The bond forged between them was unbreakable, a force of fate that called them to fight, to stand united. As the council members retreated, the tension began to lift, but uncertainty lingered in the air. Alaric turned to Alina, his heart filled with admiration for her unwavering spirit. Whatever comes next, remember that we were in this together. I will never forget, she promised, her voice steady. Our love is our destiny. We will face whatever darkness lies ahead, side by side. As they stood amidst the murmurs of the pack, a resolute silence fell over them. Alaric felt the weight of their gaze, a mix of fear and hope. They were prepared to fight for their love, and with each passing moment, he knew they would emerge stronger. And as the moonlight bathed them in its ethereal glow, Alaric realized that the path ahead would not be easy. but with Alina by his side, he felt an unshakable resolve rise within him, a promise that together they would face the storms and emerge into the light, fueled by the fierce love that had ignited their destinies. The air was thick with tension as Alaric and Alina stood side by side, facing not only the council's wrath but also the whispers of doubt that flitted through the gathered pack. The moon hung high above, illuminating their path forward. The elders had retreated, but the fight had just begun. "Do you really think they'll leave it at that?" Rylan whispered, concern etched deep into his features. "They'll come for you, Alaric. They want to let this rebellion go unpunished." Alina turned to him, her fierce spirit shining through the darkness. "We want to let them intimidate us. Love is not something to be hidden or feared. We'll show them the strength of our bond." Alaric placed a hand on her shoulder, warmth radiating between them. "Alina is right. We must stand firm and rally our supporters. If we unite, the council's power will feel diminished." "But what if they send hunters?" Rylan's voice was grave. "They are ruthless. They won't just threaten. They will kill." "Then we'll fight," Alaric replied, his voice steady. "I refuse to let fear dictate our choices. We are stronger together, and we will protect each other." As Alaric scanned the faces of his pack, he noted a mix of admiration and fear. Some nodded, their expressions resolute, while others cast wary glances toward the shadows. He felt the weight of leadership pressing down upon him, a burden he had never expected to carry. Yet, standing beside Alina, he felt an unwavering sense of purpose. "Meet me in the clearing by the old oak tree tonight," he instructed Rylan. "We'll discuss our next steps and how to prepare for whatever comes." "Be careful, Alaric," Rylan cautioned, his brow furrowed with concern. "The council won't take kindly to this." Alaric nodded, but the certainty of his heart outweighed his worries. "I will be for both of us." As the night descended, Alaric and Alina made their way to the oak tree, a majestic giant that had witnessed generations of werewolves come and go. The moon hung low, casting shadows that danced like spirits among the branches. "Here," Alina said softly, her voice breaking the silence as she stepped closer, the glow of the moon illuminating her face. "This is where I first felt the pull of our bond." Alaric looked at her, a pang of emotion tightening in his chest. "I remember that night. You looked so free, so alive. I didn't realize then how much you would come to mean to me." "Do you still feel that pull?" she asked, her eyes searching his with an intensity that made his heart race. "Every moment," he whispered, stepping closer until their breath mingled in the cool night air. A charged silence enveloped them, the world around fading as he lost himself in her gaze. But just as he leaned in, the snap of twigs broke the moment, pulling them apart like a distant storm. Rylan emerged from the shadows, his face pale. "They're coming. I caught sight of a few council members leading a pack of hunters. We need to move, now." "Damn it," Alaric muttered, the weight of dread settling in his stomach. "We can let them get close to you, Alina." "I can hide," she replied fiercely, her spirit flaring. "I want to cower while they threaten what we have." "Then we'll stand and fight," he declared, determination etched into every line of his face. "We'll rally the pack. Together we will show them our strength." As they made their way back to the den, Alaric's heart thundered in his chest. He could feel the primal instincts of the wolf within him surging, demanding to protect what was his. The laughter of the pack rang hollow in his ears, a reminder of the unity they were fighting for. Once inside, he climbed onto the elevated platform, drawing the attention of all those gathered. "Listen," he called, his voice booming. "The council sends hunters to test our resolve. They think our love makes us weak, but it only ignites the fire within us." Alina stepped forward, her presence magnetic. "We will not be silenced. We will not yield to fear. Let us stand united against this threat." A murmur of agreement rippled through the crowd. Alaric felt the tide shifting, their fears replaced by the flicker of hope. "Who will stand with us?" One by one, members of the pack stepped forward, their expressions fierce and determined. With each declaration of loyalty, Alaric felt the weight of his heart lift. This was their fight, this was their love. But just as the atmosphere began to swell with confidence, a figure stepped from the shadows. It was Eldon, a member of the council and a known adversary. "You dare defy us, Alaric. You will regret this choice." "Your threats mean nothing to me," Alaric replied, his voice steady. "Love is not a curse. It is our greatest strength. I won't let you take that away from us." Eldon's lips curled into a cruel smile. "Very well, but know this, the hunters are relentless. If you choose this path, you may lose everything you hold dear." "And if I back down?" Alaric shot back, anger igniting within him. Then I lose the one thing that gives me life, Alina. I will not let fear control my heart any longer. Your foolishness will lead to your downfall, Eldon warned, his voice low and menacing. Prepare yourself, Alpha, the storm is coming. As he retreated into the shadows, Alaric felt his heart race. The next few days would bring danger, but they would face it together. He turned to Alina, whose eyes held an unwavering determination. Whatever happens, we won't let them tear us apart, we will fight. Yes, she replied, gripping his hand tightly. We are destined to be together, Alaric. Nothing can break that bond. The night felt electric as they prepared for battle, whispers of courage and determination filling the air. They trained together, honing their skills and forging connections within the pack. Each moment spent with Alina fueled Alaric's resolve. Her spirit was infectious, igniting a fire within them all. But as the first light of dawn broke on the horizon, the calm was shattered by the sound of howling. The hunters had arrived. Prepare yourself, so. Alaric shouted, his heart racing as adrenaline coursed through his veins. We stand together, we will protect our love and our pack. The air thickened with tension as the hunters emerged from the tree line, their presence a dark omen. Alaric felt his instincts kick in, the wolf within him roaring for freedom. He glanced at Alina, who stood at his side, her eyes fierce and unwavering. They think they can intimidate us, she said, her voice steady. But we will show them our strength. The first wave of hunters charged at them, their eyes glinting with malice. Alaric felt the primal urge to protect Alina surge within him as he shifted into his wolf form, muscles rippling under his fur. A growl erupted from his throat, resonating with the pack as combined might. The battle erupted around them, the air filled with the sounds of snarls and howls. Alaric fought alongside his pack, every movement fluid and fierce. But in the chaos, his heart raced with worry. To protect Alina, he needed to keep her close. Stay near me, he called, locking eyes with her as they fought side by side. Their movements synchronized, a dance of devotion amid the chaos. Don't worry about me, she shouted back, fierce determination etched on her face. I can hold my own. As the battle raged on, Alaric felt a flicker of doubt. Would they truly emerge victorious? But then he caught sight of Alina, her spirit shining bright even in the darkest of moments. It fueled him, igniting a fire that surged through their bond. With every hunter they faced, their love became a weapon, a force that defied the darkness. Together, they fought fiercely, the echoes of their love ringing through the night. But as the final hunter fell, a chilling realization swept over Alaric. Eldon stood at the edge of the clearing, a satisfied smirk on his face. You think you've won? This is merely the beginning. The council won't stop until they have what they want. Alaric stepped forward, his heart racing. You can try, Eldon, but we will not back down. Our love is our strength, and it will not be broken. Eldon scoffed, his eyes narrowing. Your defiance will cost you dearly, Alaric. The council has plans for you, plans that will unravel everything you hold dear. With that, Eldon vanished into the shadows, leaving a chilling silence in his wake. Alaric turned to Alina, his heart heavy with unspoken fears. What if yes, right? What if they come for us again? Alina stepped closer, her gaze unwavering. Then we'll face them, Alaric. We'll confront whatever darkness lies ahead, together. Their hearts entwined in a fierce embrace, the promise of love echoed between them, a bond forged in. The moon hung high above the clearing, casting an ethereal glow on the remnants of the battlefield. The air was thick with the scent of earth and sweat, mingling with the metallic tang of victory and loss. Alaric stood amidst the remnants of chaos, his heart racing as he scanned the faces of his pack. Alaric, Alina breathed, her voice a gentle whisper that cut through the tension. She was at his side, her eyes bright with determination. We survived, but we need to prepare for what is next. Eldon's words, they linger like a shadow. He turned to her, his heart swelling with both pride and fear. I know, he said, his voice heavy with emotion. But to what extent will they go? The council will not sit idly by after this, they will retaliate. We can let their fear dictate our actions, she replied, her fierce spirit igniting a fire in his chest. We must rally the pack and show them our strength. They need to believe in the power of our love. Alaric felt the weight of her words settle in his heart. You were right, we must prepare, but I can shake the feeling that they are planning something even more insidious. As they moved through the clearing, members of the pack began to gather around them, some still panting from the exertion of battle, others nursing wounds, their faces a mix of triumph and trepidation. Wylan stepped forward, his expression grave. I heard whispers among the wounded hunters, he said, his voice low. The council has summoned more than just the hunters. They intend to send a shadow, a creature born of darkness, to hunt us down. A shadow? Alina echoed, her eyes widening. What does that mean? It is a being of pure malice, a manifestation of their will, Rylan explained, his voice taut with urgency. If one just seek to destroy Alaric, it will aim to fracture our bond, to sever the ties that hold us together. Alaric's heart sank, the weight of dread coiling tightly in his chest. Then we must learn to fight against it. We need to harness our strengths and prepare our minds for what is to come. The pack murmured in agreement, the atmosphere thick with resolve. Yet Alaric could feel the pulse of uncertainty thrumming beneath the surface. We will not allow fear to bind us, he declared, his voice carrying across the clearing. Together, we will face this darkness. Alina stepped forward, her spirit unyielding. But we must also seek guidance. There is wisdom in seeking the elders who have faced threats like this before. They may know how to combat the darkness the council conjures. Very well, Alaric said, nodding. We will gather the elders and learn all we can, but we must also train, sharpen our instincts, adapt to the challenges we face. We are more than a pack. We are a family. The days that followed were a whirlwind of preparation and training. Under the watchful eye of Alaric, Alina began to hone her skills, embracing the warrior spirit that lay within her. By day, they trained. By night, they strategized, surrounded by the flickering light of the campfire. The bond between them deepened as they faced the uncertainty together. Do you ever think about what lies beyond this fight? Alina mused one evening, her gaze fixed on the stars. What if we win, Alaric? What does our future hold? He turned to her, the warmth of the fire illuminating her face. I dream of a world where love is celebrated, when no one can dictate our hearts or our fates. I want a life with you, Alina, one filled with laughter and freedom. Then we must fight for it, she replied, determination sparkling in her eyes. But I also want to explore the world beyond the trees. I want to see what lies beyond the boundaries we've always known. A smile tugged at his lips. With you by my side, I would venture anywhere, but first, we must ensure our love endures this storm. As they continued their training, whispers of the council's impending wrath lingered like a storm cloud on the horizon. The pack stood strong, their resolve unwavering, but doubts crept into the minds of even the fiercest warriors. One midnight night, as they gathered to practice, Alina felt a prickling sensation at the back of her neck. A chill swept through the clearing, an unsettling presence lurking just beyond the trees. She exchanged a glance with Alaric, who was already on high alert. Something isn't right, she whispered, her heart racing. Suddenly, a figure burst through the tree line, a shadowy creature, its form twisting and morphing like smoke in the night. Alaric let out a furious growl, shifting into his wolf form as the creature lunged at them. Protect each other, he roared, his voice ringing with authority. Alina followed suit, transforming into her wolf form, her instincts kicking in. The creature loomed closer, a swirling mass of darkness and malice. It was a being of nightmares, preying upon their fears. Stay close. Alaric barked as he charged at the shadow, claws slashing through the air. But each strike seemed to pass through it, the creature laughing with a chilling resonance that sent shivers down their spines. Alina felt the bond between them amplify, a pulse of strength igniting her spirit. We need to fight it together, Alaric, our love is our weapon. With a fierce growl, Alaric launched himself at the creature, their movements synchronized as they advanced. But the darkness twisted away, evading their attacks with an unpredictable grace. Focus on the bond, Alaric shouted, desperation seeping into his voice. Let it guide you. The creature lunged at Alina, but she dodged, feeling the spark of the connection. We are not alone, she cried, drawing strength from their union. With a surge of energy, she leaped at the creature, her teeth bared. Together, they fought, their hearts intertwined like a symphony of defiance against the shadows. The creature screamed, thrashing in fury, but with every moment, Alina felt the bond between her and Alaric grow stronger. Now, Alaric shouted, his voice ringing in her ears. On 3. 1, 2, 3. With a synchronized leap, they collided with the creature, their forms merging into one fierce force of love and determination. The darkness writhed beneath them, shrieking in agony, before exploding into 1,000 shards of shadow that dissolved into the night. Breathless and trembling, they landed back on solid ground, their hearts racing in sync. The clearing fell silent, the air clearing of the darkness that had threatened to engulf them. Alina turned to Alaric, her heart pounding. We did it, we fought it together. He shifted back to his human form, a proud smile breaking across his face. We are stronger than we realize, Alina. Our love can conquer even the darkest of shadows. But amid their victory, unease settled deep within Alaric. Yet, this was only the beginning. The council will send more than shadows. We must stay vigilant. As the days turned into weeks, the pack trained tirelessly, their bond strengthening under the weight of uncertainty. Whispers of the council Eskins echoed through the woods, fueling their determination to protect their love and their home. One night, as Alaric and Elena stood beneath the stars, he took her hand, his touch firm yet tender. "You have no idea how much courage you give me. I would never have faced that creature without you." "I feel the same way," she replied, her gaze searching his. "You make me believe in our destiny, Alaric. Our love is a force that cannot be contained." Just then, the stillness of the night shattered as a distant howl pierced the air, a chilling sound that sent shivers down the spines. It was not the howl of a wolf, it was a call of darkness. "Prepare yourselves." Alaric shouted, the urgency in his voice igniting the pack into motion. "The council is gunning. They won't stop until they destroy what we've rebuilt together." As the pack gathered around him, courage surged within them, fueled by love and determination. Together, they would confront whatever darkness awaited them, united by the bonds that transcended fear. "Remember," Alaric said, his voice resonating with strength. "We fight not just for ourselves, but for one another. Love is our destiny, and it will guide us through the darkest nights." Elena stepped forward, her heart full of conviction. "We will stand together, face the shadows, and refuse to be dimmed by their hatred. We are the light in their darkness." As they prepared for the imminent clash with the council, Alaric felt the pulse of fate thrumming in his veins. Their love, unyielding and fierce, would light their path through the storm, binding them together against whatever trials lay ahead. And at that moment, standing in the embrace of their pack, he knew that destiny was not just a whisper in the night, it was a roaring flame, a love that would endure against all odds, illuminating the way through the darkness.